Hey everyone, welcome to the Eagle Eye Podcast. I'm Kinleigh Stancill and my co-host is
Cameron Walters. What's up, guys?
And we'll be talking to Elisa Reyes, and she'll be sharing her story about suicide and how this month, which is Mental Health Awareness Month and Suicide Prevention Month, just telling us her story and how she wants to inform others on this very touchy subject. So how are you, Elisa? How are you?
I'm great. I'm a little nervous, but I'm
That's all right.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
So just a little story just to get to know you more. Where are you from and why'd you come to Reinhardt?
I am from McDonough, Georgia, which is a little bit of a far drive, just a tiny bit. I came to Reinhardt because I used to be singing in the Spivey Hall Children's Choir, and Martha Shaw conducts here. Mm-hmm. So it's just like a little piece of home to take with me to college, because I know if I went to a different college, it would be a lot harder to not have like a tiny piece of home here.
Wow.
So.
Wow, that's great. And next question is just your major, but I'm assuming you're a singing major, performance.
I'm a music education major.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Many more teachers in the world.
Yeah.
And just other things like your hobbies. What do you care about? Stuff like that.
Well, of course, my hobbies are going to be singing, playing piano, all that stuff. But I love to spend quality time with friends and get out and do things that I've never done before and just experience different cultures or like listen to different types of music or just learn how to do something spontaneous like skateboard or something. So,
that's cool. Yeah, because I know you came to the self-defense class for ZTA here, and that was fun. We had you there, and you were punching them hard.
Man, that week was so stressful. It was a little.
It was good to get the anger out.
Yeah, I just took my anger out. The dude back, like, I don't know how to.
Did you fight the padded guy that was from public safety?
I think I did.
Did you get in the...
Well, I only stayed for like a couple of minutes.
Talking about the big tall guy?
Yes.
No, I did like the redheaded dude, I believe.
Oh, the redheaded guy?
Yeah. Oh, no, so you left.
Yeah, I had to leave.
So he put on this like football pad, Michelin man looking.
Oh my gosh.
And like, he was like going to attack us, and we got to fight him off. And we cheered everybody on.
That would be so cool, but I had just got my first COVID shot that day.
Oh, no, you're good.
So I was like tired.
Yeah.
And it was hot. It was really hot in there.
Yes,
second one's the worst one, though.
Yeah. All right, so we can get into it now. All right, Cam, do you want to start us off?
Yeah, so if you don't mind, could you give us like a brief history about your past and talk about like what led up to it?
So originally I was living in Stockbridge, Georgia from like kindergarten or pre-K all the way up to about 6th grade. I had to move away. It wasn't my choice, but my family and I had to relocate to, McDonough, Georgia.
Yeah.
And it was a little hard, like, leaving all of my elementary school friends and, like, all those friends that I've made over the years and trying to kind of sort of fit into, like, a new group of people and try to figure out what I fit in with, Yeah. And one of my main things that I've always loved since I was a kid was singing, so I was always in chorus and doing like fine arts things, and the school that I originally came from was a little more like they had put more money into their fine arts program, so we learned more like curriculum things, like some basic like music theory stuff and just the basics to choir. And I came into my new school knowing all of that, so kind of I seemed like that quiet smart kid that just knew the answer to everything. And those kids in the classrooms, you don't really get that nice like, oh yeah, they're you can talk to them. Like people thought I was so cocky because I knew what to do. I knew different ways how to sing like different songs, or like how to like just I don't know, have that type of skill. So I tried out. Me and who I thought was my best friend tried out for a solo. And I ended up getting the solo, and she ended up not getting the solo.
Oh, wow. And
me and this other girl got the solo together. So after we found out who got the solo, she posted all over social media. I still have it, actually. I went and looked at it, and I was like, oh my gosh, why do I still have this? Hold on. She said, and I quote, "I'm triggered. I was cheated out of a solo. The girl can't even sing, but good job," to the other person who got the solo. And at first I was like, okay, sucks to suck. I'm sorry. I mean, like, I'm never a confident person, so it did sting a little because she's one of my closest friends that I had made there. And basically, she started bullying me and started spreading rumors, and it went on for a year, and then
Oh.
like in 8th grade, she came up to me and gave me a box of blades and told me that I'm nothing, that I don't need to be in the world, I have no place in the world, and that just basically told me that I needed to go out and commit suicide.
Wow.
And after a while of like people just like spreading rumors and just adding more to my name, and no one got to take the time to know me, it was a little hard to try to reach out. And as an only child, it was a lot harder because my mom is a single mother, and it was just I felt like I had no one to talk to, so I just kept getting more deeper and deeper depressed. I felt like I had no one to talk to, and you would think that, you know, you would go to your school counselors and try to talk to them. They did not help at all. They were just like, oh, you're too young to feel this way. You'll be okay.
That happens for a lot of people.
And I was just like, I didn't know why I felt this way. It's not, I didn't know it was not normal. I thought this was just an everyday thing. So, yeah. It was back in middle school, which is crazy.
It's crazy because it is, you were so young, but it happens so much for so many people. And you know, that's why we brought you in here today to spread that awareness that a lot of people do feel like this, and you're not alone, and there's help out there. So, just take us through that. You know, what brings you hope, and what has stopped you from taking that, you know, final step?
What I would think of before I would do it, because I would used to think of, all of my friends, all of my family, but the main thing that would make me stop and like actually make me rethink all of my decisions was who's gonna find me. Just there, laying wherever I'm laying or whatever I was trying to do, who's gonna find me, who's gonna have that last image of me like that in their head. And that's something I don't want to leave to scar for somebody and have their own challenges as well. But it was just like, oh, my mom's gonna find me or my grandma's gonna find me there, and how is that gonna affect them? Or like also at school, I mean I would help people even though they wouldn't help me. So I was like, well, what if someone just needs help one day, and what if someone just needs someone to talk to, like, because I knew what it feels like to not have somebody to talk to. And it was just that like was just letting me keep edging on to like living and everything, which is a good thing.
So like, what's your like support systems in your life that keep you grounded, and you know, is that tied to your family and your friends?
My family and I are very close.
That's good.
Yeah, it's really good. But growing up in a Hispanic household, you're really not able, like, mental health is just something that like isn't really talked about like that. But my family and I are learning through it together. But my 3 best friends just helped me throughout like the past couple of years, and especially within this last year. They helped me a lot. So I would say my best friends and my family helped me.
I would say it's like a family thing. It's a new thing for families to have those discussions of mental health. We see in the past these people in the, you know, my parents grew up in the 80s, in the 90s, that it was just like very taboo. You didn't talk about it. It's whatever, just blow past it. And so now we're bringing it into the conversation, and it's good that families are adapting to that.
Yeah, with that being said, how would you say that your family and friends reacted to the situation when you brought it to their attention?
So actually, September 13th was my year anniversary of the last time I've tried to commit suicide, and I was never open with my own mental health, with my family. It was only my friends, because, you know, your friends wouldn't go telling your parents. It's just an unspoken rule, even though it really should be spoken about. But, my family was actually on vacation, and I had the house to myself, so I thought it was just a perfect time. But I had called my boyfriend at the time, and I was just like, okay, I feel this way, I really need you to come. And he took a 2-hour drive from his college, because he was an upperclassman, and he drove down, and he spent the night at my house. And it was just a whole crazy thing of my mom thought I just snuck a boy in, but in reality, he saved my life, which is hard to say, because him and I are like those. But he did save my life. But I just remember my mom and my grandparents were in Florida, and my aunt, who actually lives down the street with my uncle as well, she she drove and she's like, he needs to get out of the house. He needs to get out. And I'm like, oh, how am I going to tell them? And just as soon as he left, I was like, okay, no, I need to get this out or I'm going to get in trouble. Like, I mean, and so I texted my mom because she was, those angry texts from over the phone. I was like, no, Mom, this is what happened. I had these thoughts last night. I told him, and he spent the night here. He didn't sleep in my room. He didn't do anything. He's very respectful. He just was making sure that I was going to be alive through the night and make sure that I'm going to be here by the time we get home. And my mom called me crying. My aunt was crying. It was all emotional, and it was like a weight of 5 to 7 years had just been lifted off of my shoulder.
Yeah.
Like it literally felt like I could breathe. But my family, it took them a while to understand why I felt this way. And I mean, and a good thing too, I helped them understand that some of them have like anxiety and things like that as well. So we're all learning with one another, which I find really great. And it's also another level of support for me with my family. So,
that's really great. Yeah.
So if you don't mind me asking another question, what would you say is your anchor now to keep you from going to the edge again or going to that point again?
I just remember that where I am now in life, I remember that I am strong and I am independent. I give myself words of affirmation every day.
I love that. Yeah.
I mean, in the end, it's my own self-love for myself.
Exactly.
And I just think that just that daily reminder of or just doing something that I love, like singing is such a distressor for me. Like, I just love singing. I love playing on piano. It's just a big thing for me. So it's a good thing. I mean, sometimes, getting practice done on solo pieces is a little bit stressful, but then I play some random stuff on the piano and then I just start vibing with it and singing, and that's an anchor for me. And then just also keeping that communications with my at-home friends, even though we're all over the state at the moment, we still see each other almost every weekend somehow. But just keeping that strong anchor of remembering who you are and what you enjoy to do with yourself is just keeping me there.
Gotcha.
So what's something you wish you knew before your attempts?
I personally believe that looking at the past kind of sort of won't help. So, I think that I haven't really thought of that. I honestly just think of it's happened. It's something that obviously was supposed to happen if it did happen, and I grew from it, and I'm here now. So, yeah, that's my answer to that question.
Okay. And what do you think people get wrong about suicidal people, and how do you think it's displayed in TV and movies, and what do they get wrong and what do they get right?
I think people literally just expect people to instantly be able to feel better. I don't think people understand that in our brain it's something that we can't just switch from. Some people can, but most people cannot. And so some people are like, well, why do you feel that way? Just feel happier. Just think of something that helps you. And it's just in this moment I feel down. I obviously don't feel like myself. And there's even days where people even on TV shows, people romanticize depression or having anxiety. And it's just yes, you can be in a relationship and have these issues, or not issues, have trouble, but it's not something that you can romanticize as well. It's something that people go through on the everyday thing. It's not just something what's a good I don't know, it's just something that's happening in a real life situation. And I think people should be more educated about what goes on in somebody's brain, or research and studies, get educated on that, because you can honestly tell throughout all of your friends if they're feeling that way just by just certain actions that they do, or how they talk to you, or just eating habits, or just even down to asking them, oh, how's your day? And they're like, I'm fine, and do a certain gesture. It's just the small things about like people that you can pick up on.
Yeah.
And it's
So what
just that easy
would
to see.
those signs be? Like, what are some? I mean, I know it's different for everyone, but are there some telltale signs where you see someone and you're like, hey, I've been there. I can tell that they're struggling, or is it just a person by person thing?
I think posture is one thing. I'm very observant, so like right now I'm just like it's like sucked in a tiny bit because I'm a little nervous. But like if I like sit up, it gives me a whole different like persona, I guess. Let's see. I think honestly knowing if someone feels that way is getting to know somebody.
Absolutely.
And
yeah.
absolutely like having that conversation and getting to know like who someone is, and then like, I mean, if anything, you could build a friendship out of it if you're just checking up on somebody, and you never know who you can be friends with. Yeah. So
okay, that's a good answer. Just continuing more, like, what do you wish people knew about suicide and mental health issues?
I actually did a whole presentation in my communications class about mental health, and that's kind of sort of why I'm here. But one thing that I think people should realize is that they are not alone. That everyday people, whether they just live wherever, whether in like anywhere around the world, people are dealing with struggles, but it's not like us students or like adults or like people with kids or anything. Like even celebrities deal with mental health. Like even like your role model can say, oh yeah, I've had a struggle before. Like whether it's like I just had a panic attack, or like I just felt down one day. But everyone has their own struggles, and I think that one thing people should know is that they're just not alone.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I know. It's definitely connected to like when quarantine was big and the pandemic was separating people. People did feel alone because they had to be alone. If you had a quarantine in your room for however many days or whatever, it did feel isolating. And yet, such an issue on campus last year was there wasn't many students here, and they had to separate us all. And so that could be, threatening to our mental health as well. And a lot of students felt that way, but we couldn't connect because of this, this virus. And so I'm glad now that we can do this right here. Yeah. So you think that has affected not only you, but a lot of people?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely Corona hit everybody. I'm going to be completely honest. If Corona did not happen, I do not think that I'd be as strong-minded as I am right now.
I totally agree.
I very much so.
COVID's changed a lot of people. So, what made you want to like get on the talk show and talk to us, or let people know your message or what you had to say?
Yeah, so that goes back to what I was talking about my communications class. Is we were given just like a talk show thing, which is very ironic. But we were given like we had to choose our own talk show topics, and I was in a group of just all girls, and all of us looked at each other and were like, well, we don't want to be that one girl group that just gossips about like celebrity drama. And we were just trying to figure out like current events, but then we heard people were doing stuff like abortion and what's going on, like a war, like what happened, and we were just like, okay, people are taking ideas, we need something. And I was just like, well, if you want current events, this month is Suicide Prevention Month or Mental Health Awareness Month, and they actually did not know that. So I mean, I put up like a whole PowerPoint. We did like a whole Word document, and I was very passionate about this because as someone who's experienced this, it's good to talk about and get that word out, because you just never know who's silently like going through the same thing. So Professor King actually was like, well, do you think you would be able to go for like the school newspaper and talk to them, and like they'll just ask you some questions and then boom, you'll be done. I was like, yeah, sure, that's not too bad. And then next thing you know, oh, you're actually doing a podcast. And I was like, huh? I was like, what? And then she was like, yeah. I was like, yeah. I mean, there's a first time for everything, so sure. But yeah, I just, boop, now I'm here. Yeah.
It's not as bad as you thought it was, is it though?
No, not at all. This is very chill, and I like it. I do.
Yeah.
I do like it. Awesome. Yeah.
Because at first we were going to do just a sit-down interview, like I write down stuff, but we thought, we need her voice. We need to let her tell everything, because it's hard to, replicate everything someone says or how they feel in words. So, yeah, but we're glad to have you here.
Any final things to say to anyone listening out here?
I just want people to know that they are not alone in whatever they are facing, and that there are trusted people here that you can go to. Reinhardt in itself is a positive and accepting community, as I've seen. Not only as a freshman, it's, you know, you think, oh, people are just nice to you because they want you to just come to the school, but the many, you know, since living on campus, like, anyone here is, like, nice to you, whether it's opening the door, just like, oh, yeah, like, oh, do you need help with this? Like, they literally have a whole center for just the students, which is a really good thing to have. But as well as other things, I think that people should just, if you're suffering with, like, anxiety or something, or other mental health issues, I think you should research just techniques that you can practice on your own if you don't want to fully go out and get professional help. There's, like, other tips, like just breathing exercises, meditating. What I personally love to do is journaling and just write out my feelings, like a diary, like if I'm 8 years old again. But, like, it helps a lot. It helps your mind unwind.
Yeah.
It helps you in many different ways. So I just want people to know that, I mean, we're here, we're raising awareness for everybody. So yeah, that's all I want people to know, is that they're just not alone, and that there's trusted people you can go to, and there's many resources out there on social media and just out on the internet as well. But yeah.
Okay.
And for anyone else out there listening that needs help, that just doesn't know how to reach out to anyone, you can text support to 741-741, and it's a hotline to help you move from a hot moment to a cool and calm moment, guiding you to create a plan to stay safe and healthy. You guys have anything else to say?
I was just going to give a shout out to the counseling services here, the Aaron Smith and Johnson. You can apply online at the Reinhardt Health Services, I think. And you can meet with a counselor here where you feel comfortable and safe, and you can talk to them for a lot. And it's free, it's included, it's private. And just know you're not alone.
Thank you for your time for your interview, though.
Thank you for having me. I really did enjoy this.
No problem.
That's great.
Well, this is Eagle Eye, and we're signing out.